God isn't telling you to quit your job in a panic. He's saying, freeze right there. This isn't for everyone. It's for the one who's one bad email away from walking out. For the one who drafted the resignation in your notes app and hovered over send. For the one who rage applied to 20 positions at 2 a.m., doom-scrolled job boards, compared salaries, stalked other people's highlight reels, and tried to make a permanent decision while your chest was tight and your vision blurred with fear. Hear me. Panic is loud, but instruction is louder when you decide to listen. He's saying, don't move. Don't write your destiny with shaky hands. Don't abandon your post because your feelings are screaming. You think a sprint will save you. You think motion equals progress. But you don't need more motion. You need alignment, not reaction, instruction. Stop chasing jobs. Your deposit is being released. Let me define what I just said so your heart can stop guessing. Deposit is not a wish. It's not positive vibes. It's not a someday. It is provision already in motion, authorized, stamped, and dispatched from heaven's economy. It has left the vault. Angels are already moving. Favor is already traveling. A conversation is being scheduled. A decision is being nudged. A channel is being prepared. You may not see it on your screen yet, but that doesn't mean it's not on the way. That's not hype. That's law in the kingdom. When I speak, I send. So here is the binary I am placing before you. Panic or obedience. Motion or alignment. Reaction or instruction. Choose. Panic says, do anything now. Obedience says, do exactly what he says, and only when he says. Panic is a storm in your ears. Obedience is a whisper that anchors your feet. One drains you. One delivers you. He's saying, freeze right there, not as punishment, but for your protection. Do not quit in fear when provision is already being released. Do not throw away the field because the soil felt hard for a week. Do not relocate your life over a moment you didn't pray through. Pressure will come. Expect it. The inbox will flare. The bill will glare. The rumor will swirl. Feel that pressure and then hear me clearly. Pressure is not permission to disobey. Pressure is the test. Peace is the sign. Your job is a channel. I am the source. I can change the channel without changing your supply. If you bolt in panic, you break formation and miss the handoff I already sent. If you hold your position, you will watch the channel change and the deposit arrive with precision. Your next move is not motion. Your next move is alignment. Your heart steady, your feet planted, your mouth clean. Say this under your breath even now. I will not quit in panic. I will freeze in obedience. My deposit is in motion. Hold there. Peace is entering. Provision is en route. Listen to me. The pressure you feel is real. Bills stacking like bricks. Rent due before your next check clears. Kids growing, shoes too tight. Field trip forms in backpacks that need signatures and fees. Hours cut. Layoffs rumored. The boss adding one quick thing that never stays quick. Your phone lighting up after midnight with, "We need to talk." Sleep fragmented into small, nervous pockets. You roll over, open the calculator app, and start doing survival math in the dark. I see it. I'm not minimizing it, but hear me. Tired is not a compass. Exhaustion cannot be your GPS. Here is the trap. You are trying to solve a spiritual problem with a human sprint. He's saying, you're calling it wisdom, but it's anxiety in a suit. You've baptized panic and named it stewardship. You've taken fear and dressed it in productivity. Underneath the hustle is a confession you haven't said out loud. If I don't move fast, I'll lose everything. That sentence is worship of speed, of scarcity, of self. When you treat me like plan B, you will sprint like your life depends on you. When you recognize me as source, you can stand still like your life depends on me. That is not passivity, that is posture. Panic decisions cost more than bills. quitting without instruction looks like freedom for a week and then invoices you with interest. Peace drained, timing damaged, relationships bruised, faith frayed. You break alignment to chase a check and then wonder why the river of favor feels like a trickle. You outrun the place I aimed the deposit, then call the dryness a test I never assigned. Hear me, provision without my instruction turns into striving. Effort increases, joy decreases. That is not heaven's economy, that is human debt. Heaven is not a business, it's a kingdom. Jobs are channels, not fountains. Systems are tools, not saviors. Bosses sign checks, but I author provision. When you bow to a channel as if it is the fountain, you shrink your life to whatever that channel can sustain. When you bow to me, channels multiply, rotate, appear, close, and reopen without disrupting your supply. That's why I'm telling you to freeze, because heaven doesn't fund anxiety. Heaven funds obedience. So before I change your situation, I'm changing your posture, because posture determines what you can carry. You cannot carry increase with clenched fists and short breaths. You cannot hear timing when your feet are already moving. Be still is not do nothing. Be still is be placed. Hold your position. Breathe again. Unclench your jaw. He's saying, stand in covenant, not in crisis. When you stop calling a paycheck your source, fear stops writing your decisions. And when fear stops writing, peace starts leading. That is how you will know. When the storm in your chest quiets, and you can hear instruction again, then and only then, move. You're saying, but I feel urgency. Doesn't that mean move? Hear me. Urgency can be anxiety wearing a prophetic costume. Holy urgency clarifies. Panic urgency compresses. Holy urgency opens your lungs. Panic urgency shortens your breath. Holy urgency aligns with what I've already said. Panic urgency invents assignments I never gave. One drives you into a scramble. The other steadies you into obedience. I am not rushing you. I am placing you. He's saying, stop chasing doors I already closed. How do you know you're chasing? You apply to anything with a login portal because silence scares you. You lower standards you once called convictions because the clock is loud. You ignore red flags and rename them quirks. You choose salary over peace. You choose title over assignment. You read the job description and feel a knot in your spirit, but you call it nerves and push submit anyway. You tolerate disrespect in interviews because you think desperation is humility. You ghost your own boundaries to avoid being ghosted by recruiters. That isn't favor, that is fear. Not every open door is me, and not every closed door is loss. Some no's are shields. What you call rejection may be rescue. What you call delay may be a detour around a sinkhole you couldn't see. What if that no was me keeping you from a culture that would bleed you dry? What if that layoff rumor is not doom, but me rearranging the board to seat you where favor is aimed? What if the silence you hate is the quiet alley I'm using to move your deposit without enemy interference? Learn my timing language. Not yet is different from never. Wait is still an instruction. When I say wait, I am not withholding good. I am aligning channels so increase lands without leakage. A closed door does not revoke your calling. It resets the calendar. Sons can handle not yet because sons trust the source, not the speed. Slaves panic at pauses. Heirs prepare in peace. Here is your discernment. Peace is your umpire. If you have to silence your spirit to say yes, it's a no from me. If the offer inflates your ego while deflating your joy, it's a trap. If money talks louder than mission, that voice is not mine. Ask this question. If the bill were paid today, would the instruction change? If the answer is yes, you were hearing money, not me. Hear me again. I can change the channel without changing your supply. If you can't discern doors, you'll mistake pressure for permission and run off route. So I give you a better metric. My peace, my word, my last clear instruction. Stay where I placed you. Bless what I told you. Guard your mouth. And when the right door swings, it won't demand that you betray yourself to enter. It will recognize you, and peace will walk in first. Hear me. Your job isn't your source. I am. A job is a channel, not the fountain. A paycheck is a receipt, not the river. A boss can approve hours, but he cannot authorize destiny. HR can draft policies, but they cannot draft your portion. If you confuse channel with fountain, you will live paycheck to peace check, breathing only on Friday, drowning again by Monday. You will stand in line for human approval like it's oxygen and call it wisdom. That is not wisdom. That is a contract with fear. Break it. Right now. Tear up the agreement you made with survival the day you let a manager's mood tell you your value. Rip the paper you signed with a shaky pen when you decided HR's subject line could decide your future. He's saying, I'm not negotiating your identity with a department. I've already set it by covenant. Sons don't beg for bread. Heirs stand on promise. Kings don't chase, they command. You are not a beggar in my economy. You are my heir. Stop asking salary to prophesy to you. Let my word define your worth and watch channels bow to the source. Fear manufactures counterfeit obedience. It looks like overworking to prove you deserve to stay. It looks like staying silent to survive, laughing at what violates you, apologizing for boundaries I gave you, tolerating dishonor because you think income depends on it. It looks like saying yes to every ask so you're too tired to hear. My next instruction, that is not humility, that is captivity, that is you paying rent to a system I freed you from. Hear me again. Heaven doesn't fund anxiety. Heaven funds obedience. Peace is the currency of my economy. When you move in peace, you transact in covenant. When you move in panic, you overdraft your spirit. Peace is not passivity. It is proof that your heart is seated where your provision is sourced. Peace is the stamp that the transfer is authorized. Panic is the flag that you're about to spend what I did not send. So I'm shifting you. Identity first, instruction next. Because once you stop calling a paycheck your source, you stop letting fear write your decisions. When fear stops writing, I can speak and you won't argue. I can say hold and you won't call it laziness. I can say send one email and you won't send 20 in panic to feel productive. I can say finish what's in your hand and you won't abandon it for whatever blinks first. I can change the channel without you grabbing the wheel. Say this out loud and mean it. My job is not my source. God is. My worth is not under review. My portion is not on probation. I break partnership with fear. I align with peace. And from this posture, instruction will be simple, timing will be clear, and the deposit already in motion will find me exactly where obedience keeps me. Hear me. The deposit is being released. Not someday, not if you hustle hard enough. Released. In kingdom terms, deposit is everything I've authorized to reach you before you can touch it. It is seed money set aside with your name on it. It is unexpected credit applied to your account. It is favor circling your file. It is a contract forming in someone else's mind with terms you don't have to manipulate. It is a refund you didn't know you were owed. It is a burden lifted, a debt forgiven, a policy reversed, a door prepared and held open until you arrive. It is provision staged before your eyes can see it. Being released means it's already in transit. My logistics are not theory, they are movement. While your emotions shake, heaven's couriers keep walking. Angels are dispatched. Calendars are rearranged. Approvals are nursed through resistance. A decision maker wakes up thinking of you for no explainable reason. A review board gets delayed just long enough for new favor to enter the room. A timing window that seemed missed becomes a fresh opening. Emails drafted against you get deleted mid-sentence. This is not random, it is orchestration. I want you to normalize my invisible work. You do not see me calling supervisors while they shower, or settling uncertainties in HR as they drive to work, or turning a no into a not yet into a yes as someone rereads your name over lunch. You do not see me highlighting your invoice in a stack, or tilting a recruiter's heart toward your story, or pausing a payment you couldn't carry yet so that it lands in a month you can. Your part is not to force what I'm already moving. Your part is alignment, peace that says, I trust the courier. Obedience that holds your position so the package isn't returned to sender. I've seen it. When people stopped chasing, money found them. When they stopped begging, favor located them. A mother paused her panic and a school called with a scholarship she didn't apply for. A man held his tongue and was back paid for months. An employer miscalculated. A family canceled their frantic home search, and a neighbor unexpectedly offered them a lease they could afford. A creative stopped cold emailing out of fear, and one call opened a year of retained work. That's not luck. That's law in my kingdom. Obedience attracts what hustling in anxiety repels. Understand this. Deposit is not always cash first. Sometimes the first thing I release is wisdom that keeps you from hemorrhaging money, strategy that doubles what you already have, restraint that saves you thousands by not buying what your fear wanted today, a relationship, one conversation that would take you 10 years of grind to replace, a cancellation, fees waived, balances erased, interest forgiven, an idea that becomes a stream, clarity that ends costly detours, peace that shuts the door on mistakes you keep paying for. Do not despise a non-cash deposit. Often it's the foundation that makes cash durable. So if provision is in motion, the question is no longer, how do I make something happen? The question is, how do I stay placed so it finds me? Say it. My deposit is in motion. I refuse to outrun it. I align my heart. I steward my words. I hold my post. Heaven doesn't fund anxiety. It funds obedience. This is the shift. Since I've set the delivery, you will prepare the address. And if you're asking what to do today while you wait, listen closely. I'm about to tell you how to live the in-between on purpose. Here is your in-between assignment. Obedience without answers. Hear me. This is where most people self-sabotage, not in the famine or the feast, but in the hallway between them. They quit right before relief arrives. They blow savings to silence fear for a week. They burn bridges they will need tomorrow. They make vows out of pain. I'll never work for anyone again. I'll take anything that pays. I'm done caring. And those vows start steering their life more than my voice. I'm breaking that today. Don't make permanent decisions in temporary fear. So I give you a 3-part frame. Simple, strong, repeatable. Stay steady, stay submitted, stay available. Stay steady. That means hold your position with integrity while I handle outcomes. Keep showing up. Do what's in your hand like it matters, because it does. Excellence is not a salary response. It's a covenant response. You are not performing for a boss. You are stewarding before a king. Finish what you start. Return emails with honor. Meet deadlines you promised. If hours get cut, your character doesn't. If tone gets harsh, your spirit doesn't. Consistency is a signal to heaven that you can carry increase without leaking it. Stay submitted. Submission is not slavery. It is safety. It means you let my peace, my word, and your last clear instruction make the calls, not panic. It also means you honor order. Don't go rogue because you're scared. Don't create side wars with supervisors to prove a point. Don't weaponize your resignation to get attention. You don't need theatrics to get favor. Favor recognizes humility and crowns it. Stay available. Availability is not frantic control. It is open-handed readiness. You are not grasping, you're listening. You don't fill your days with noise to feel productive. You leave margin so when I whisper, send one email, you're not buried under 20 you sent in fear. When I say rest, you're not too guilty to sleep. When I say call that person, you haven't torched that relationship with a public tantrum. Integrity matters here. Protect your name. Do not gossip. Do not retaliate. Do not storm out. Do not post emotional exits, cryptic captions, or sub-tweets that stain your witness. Screenshots outlive seasons. Favor often travels through reputation, and I won't let your next open door be poisoned by the smoke you chose to light today. Let me vindicate you without you vandalizing your future. Practice peace on purpose. Limit fear inputs. News and timelines that spike your chest do not get unlimited access to your mind. Set boundaries with job boards, times, and limits. Stop scrolling for pain. Stop comparing your process to someone else's highlight reel. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios in prayer like it's intercession. You are not allowed to prophesy doom over yourself and then ask me to overrule your mouth every morning. Say it now. I refuse to make permanent decisions in temporary fear. I am steady. I am submitted. I am available. Hold this posture. Your behavior is stabilized. Your feet are planted. Now I will address your mouth because the atmosphere you live in is the one you speak. Your mouth is about to become the steering wheel of your miracle. Your mouth is the steering wheel. Hear me. Words create worlds. Language is spiritual technology, keys, not noise. Anxiety uses your tongue to talk you into sabotage. Faith uses your tongue to talk you into alignment. When your mouth runs with panic, your life swerves into ditches you later call fate. When your mouth runs with promise, your life aligns with a road I already paved. Angels respond to faith voiced in my word. Darkness retreats at truth spoken with conviction. You don't wait for feelings to agree before you speak. You speak to train your feelings to follow. I am confronting your speech. I'm done. I can't. Nothing works out for me. I'll never get ahead. Those are not vent lines. They are contracts with lack. Every time you say them, you authorize a drought you then blame on me. You call it honesty. I call it agreement with the wrong kingdom. Rip up those agreements now. Your mouth has been a leaky pipe draining provision. Close it to panic. Open it to promise. Stop narrating your fears like a news anchor and then asking me to override your broadcast. You cannot curse the ground and then pray for harvest. Here is how you fight. It is written. That phrase is not a slogan. It is a sword. Scripture is not a quote. It's a key, not a chant, a covenant. When you say, it is written, you are not wishing. You are activating. You are putting my words in your mouth, and my words do not return empty. You are giving heaven legal language to legislate on your behalf. You are aligning your atmosphere with a law that outranks your feelings, your boss's mood, and the market's swings. Use it. Wield it. Make your home a courtroom where my verdict stands. Say this out loud now, steady and clear. My job is not my source. God is. Again, my job is not my source. God is. Say, I will not quit in panic. Say, my deposit is being released. Say, I am led, not rushed. Say, peace is my umpire. Panic is not my permission. Say, heaven funds obedience. I choose obedience. Say, I do not chase. I align. Say, the channel may change. The supply does not. Now seal it. Type one of those lines in the comments right now as a public covenant. Write it like you mean it. When you write it, you are not performing. You are planting. Your future will find that seed. Understand. Declarations are not denial. They are direction. They are not pretending the bill isn't real. They are placing the bill under a higher word. They don't excuse laziness. They end franticness so you can act wisely. Declarations reset your inner climate so your decisions stop hemorrhaging peace. They calibrate your ears to timing. They slow your hands so you don't make messes. I never asked you to clean. They send your faith ahead of you into rooms you haven't entered yet and tell the room what to expect when you arrive. Keep this rhythm. Declare, believe, obey. Morning before emails, night before sleep, in the car when dread rises, at your desk when rumors swirl. If panic can be spoken into your bones until you shake, then faith can be spoken into your bones until you stand. Your words must match your covenant. And because I never ask you to declare without a foundation, we're about to anchor these words in scripture and precedent, patterns where obedience outran effort and heaven's economy overturned earthly logic. Hold this line. Your mouth has turned the wheel. Now we set the map with what is written. It is written is not poetry. It is precedent. Look at Peter, Luke 5. A professional fisherman with tired arms, expert skill, and empty nets. Effort all night produced nothing. Then one instruction cut through the fatigue. Launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. One act of obedience, one counterintuitive cast, and the boat nearly sank from overflow. That wasn't luck. That was law in my kingdom. Faith produces what effort cannot. Your resume has weight, but my word has gravity. When I speak, water gathers fish like a magnet. When I point, empty turns into more than enough. The difference wasn't equipment, it was instruction. Consider Elijah, 1 Kings 17, famine in the land. No logical supply chain. I told him, go to the brook Cherith. I have commanded the ravens to feed you there. Ravens, unclean birds, unreliable by human standards, became couriers. Morning and evening, bread and meat. Channel, absurd. Supply, exact. And when the brook dried, I didn't forsake him. I shifted the channel. Arise, go to Zarephath. I have commanded a widow there to sustain you. Hear the pattern. I use channels. I control supply. I can feed you by birds. I can sustain you by a widow with almost nothing. When a brook dries, panic runs. Sons listen. Heirs pivot at my word and keep eating. Remember the manna, Exodus 16. I trained a nation out of panic by teaching daily dependence. Enough for today, trust for tomorrow, gather what I say. On the sixth day, double portion for Sabbath rest. Those who hoarded in fear woke to rot and worms. Panic spoils provision. Obedience preserves it. Heaven's economy funds today's instruction and tomorrow's trust, not today's frenzy for tomorrow's control. Anchor this with code you can execute. Psalm 37:25. I was young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or their children begging bread. Psalm 34:10. The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. These are not plaques for your wall. They are laws for your life. When you declare them, you are not flattering me. You are filing a claim in a court I already rule. Say it. It is written, I will not be forsaken. It is written, I will lack no good thing. Pull the principle tight. I use boats, brooks, birds, widows, nets, and dew on the ground. Channels change. Source remains. When the channel shakes, you don't sprint to build a new fountain. You return to the word and await the next instruction. That is why you can wait without wasting time. Because waiting in my presence is not idleness. It is preparation. Scripture gives you confidence. But confidence needs discernment, and discernment needs a plan. Do not call panic productivity. In the pause, you will prepare your container. You will make room for increase. You will stop chasing jobs and start arranging your house for what I already released. Stop chasing jobs. Start preparing the container. Hear me. Chasing is fear-driven. Preparing is faith-driven. Chasing is frantic, circular, loud. Preparing is intentional, calm, precise. Chasing tries to force a door. Preparing builds a room. Chasing hunts for approval. Preparing holds identity. He's saying, don't run in circles. Prepare in peace. Increase needs a container, not chaos. Begin with what's in your hand. Update your resume, calmly, not desperately. Clarity over flattery, truth over fluff. Quantify wins, remove panic words. One page that reads like stewardship, not begging. You are not auditioning for worth, you are witnessing to fruit. Then organize your finances. Open every account you've been avoiding. List every bill. Name every subscription. Cancel the leaks that drip peace from your month. Assign every dollar an instruction so fear doesn't spend it for you. Create a simple buffer, even if it's small. A signal to your heart that order rules here, not emergency. Set autopay for essentials, so anxiety can't weaponize forgetfulness against you. If you sell something, don't call it survival. Call it seed toward stability. Document your wins at work. If I am about to increase you, I want you fluent in your fruit. Keep a simple log. Projects finished, problems solved, feedback received, numbers moved. Not to boast, to build memory. Favor often asks, what have you stewarded? Have the answer ready without scrambling. Strengthen your skills strategically, not 20 new tricks in panic. 2 skills in purpose. The one that deepens your current value and the one that readies your next channel. Set a schedule. 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week. Certificates if they matter. Practice if they don't. Consistency is your anointing for growth. Now clean your environment. Chaos confuses delivery. Tidy the workspace you dread. Inbox triage. 10 minutes to sort, not 3 hours to spiral. Label a folder provision and start collecting evidence of favor. Encouragements, completed work, open doors. Order is an invitation. Peace is preparation. Heaven entrusts more to those who manage peace, time, and money well. Not because I love them more, but because containers hold what chaos leaks. Relational alignment matters. Favor rides on unexpected bridges. Reconcile where possible. Release offense where reconciliation isn't wise. Clean up communication. Reply with honor. Thank those who helped you. Close loops you left dangling. Remove passive-aggressive posts and cryptic captions. Do not salt the ground you'll need to walk again. Send one humble message to a person you avoided. Thank you for the opportunity. Grateful for what I learned. You're not manipulating. You're maturing. Update your profile quietly. No dramatic new season declarations birthed in panic. Let fruit announce you. Ask better questions. Stop asking, how do I get out? Start asking, God, what are you building in me here? What skill must be sharpened before the next door opens? What character leak must be sealed so increase doesn't drain? What system do I need? A rate card, an invoice template, a separate account for taxes, a calendar for focus blocks, a Sabbath that is actually honored. Kings don't chase, they command. Command requires order. Write a one-page provision plan. Simple. Today's assignments. Containers to build. Relationships to bless. Skills to sharpen. Leaks to plug. Times on a calendar. Then breathe. This is strategy without striving. You are not forcing outcomes. You are furnishing the house for what I already released. Say it. I prepare in peace. I build containers. I host increase. Hold this posture because preparation positions you, but I also move by timing. You will not sprint. You will sync. Next, I will give you a timed instruction, a 3-day rhythm that resets your atmosphere and seals your preparation. We will set the cadence morning and night, so your container stays steady while the deposit lands on schedule. For the next 3 days, morning and night, do this. Hear me. 3 days is not random. 3 days is resurrection rhythm. What felt dead can rise. What felt stuck can move. What panic buried, alignment will pull from the ground. This is not superstition. This is structure. A short, consistent obedience rhythm can shift your atmosphere faster than frantic hustle ever could. He's saying, do exactly this and watch what changes before the weekends. Morning. Before your phone, before your feed, before you rehearse the problem, open your mouth and open the word. Read Psalm 34:10 out loud, slow and steady. The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Or read Psalm 37:25. I was young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or their children begging bread. Then declare out loud, like law, it is written, I lack no good thing. It is written, I will not be forsaken. My job is not my source. God is, my deposit is being released. Speak it standing if you can. Put your hand on your chest and remind your body who is in charge. Let your own ears hear your own faith. Midday. 1 obedience act, not 10, not a panic sprint. 1. Ask me, then do the simple instruction I highlight. Send 1 respectful email of honor or clarity. Complete 1 task with excellence you've delayed. Reconcile 1 miscommunication. If you sense my peace on it, apply to 1 right-fit role. 1 aligned with assignment, not fear. If you aren't led, don't apply. Do not flood portals because clocks are loud. Excellence is obedience. Volume is panic. Let midday be proof that your hands are steady while heaven's couriers move. Night. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. Release long. Say out loud what you are canceling. Break the vows fear taught you to speak. I cancel the vow, I'll take anything. I cancel nothing works for me. I cancel I'm done trying. I cancel I'll never get ahead. I break partnership with panic. I align with peace. Then thank me in advance, as if it's already done. Father, thank you that provision is in motion. Thank you that the right channel is prepared. Thank you that by morning my heart will wake in peace, my steps in order, my name held in rooms by your hand. End with, it is written, I will lack no good thing. Then sleep. Rest is warfare. I do more in your rest than panic ever produced in your rush. Escalate your commitment publicly to anchor it. Right now, type these 2 lines where you can be reminded and where heaven and hell both see your stand. I will not quit in panic. My job is not my source. Write them, say them, pin them. When you write, you are not performing, you are planting. This is your covenant cue for the next 3 days. Hold this cadence. Morning, word and declaration. Midday, 1 obedience act. Night, release, cancel, thank. 3 days. Watch the air change in your home. Watch intrusive dread lose volume. Watch strategy rise where static once lived. When the reset completes, I'll give you a safeguard, because pressure will try to return to test what you believe. That's not punishment, that's training. But for now, set your alarm, set your mouth, set your pace. Don't sprint, sync. Your resurrection rhythm starts tonight. Hear me. Pressure will try to knock again. Expect it. It will wear the face of an email with a vague subject line, a rumor whispered in the hallway, a bill arriving 2 days early, a meeting invite that feels like a trap. The enemy is boring. He recycles. He wants to see if your mouth returns to panic and your feet return to sprinting. But the return of pressure is not proof you failed. It is proof you're being trained. I am making peace your reflex, not your reward. I am building in you what storms cannot bend. Here is your grid. Simple. If it produces confusion, haste, and dread, pause. If it produces clarity, peace, and conviction, proceed. Confusion is not your counselor. Haste is not your leader. Dread is not your prophet. Peace is your umpire. Clarity is your green light. Conviction is your engine. This is how you test the spirits of opportunity and threat. Not every ping deserves a reply today. Not every meeting announces catastrophe. Not every number on a bill demands an instant detour. He's saying, pause is faith. Waiting can be warfare. Silence can be strategy. Breathe, ask, listen. If my peace does not follow, your feet do not move. Build guardrails. Limit job board scrolling to set times. 30 minutes, then out. Panic scroll is a portal for torment. You are not grazing in fear fields to feel responsible. Close the tabs you open to numb yourself. Stop announcing fear to everyone. Oversharing is not transparency, it's leakage. Choose one trusted person with wisdom and faith. One, and make them your counsel in this window. Not 10 voices, not the timeline choir. Many counselors without discernment equals noise. One trusted voice plus my word equals direction. Protect your sleep like strategy. Set a bedtime. Power down. Night is when anxiety pitches deals. Decline. Rest is not a luxury in this season. It is a weapon. If a thought can't survive until morning, it wasn't instruction, it was intrusion. When pressure hits, speak identity before you speak outcome. Say it out loud. I am led, not rushed. I am an heir, not a beggar. I will not chase what God hasn't assigned. Again, I am led, not rushed. My job is not my source, God is. The channel may change, the supply does not. Stand up if you have to. Put your shoulders back. Remember, kings don't chase, they command. Sons don't bargain, they believe. Heirs do not audition for worth. They steward what is given and wait for the next instruction. Your mouth will preach your posture back to your bones. Practical cues for the moment of hit. If an email spikes your chest, draft a response, but don't send it for 1 hour. Read it after you pray. Honor without panic. If a bill arrives, name the amount out loud. Place it under, it is written, I will lack no good thing, and then ask me for the one act of wisdom for today. If a rumor surfaces, do not join the chorus. Seek direct clarity once, then return to excellence. If a meeting invite lands, prepare your wins. Pray for peace. Enter without theatrics. Exit without narratives. Guard your witness. Screenshots live longer than storms. Hear me. Pressure returns to reveal what's been rebuilt. And you are being rebuilt, line by line, into someone storms cannot negotiate. So when the knock comes again, do not open the door with panic. Open it with peace. Smile at the test like you recognize an old scam. Choose steady over scramble. Choose pause over prove. Choose covenant over clamor. Because the final sound over this season cannot be fear. It must be faith. And that's where we're going next. Into a decree that seals what I've set in motion so provision meets you with precision, on time, in peace. Here is the final word. Do not move first. Hold the line I set. Don't quit in panic. Don't sprint to prove you're responsible. Don't chase doors I already closed. Your job was never your source. It was a channel. Channels change. I do not. The deposit is already in transit, and obedience, not hustle, is the mechanism that will meet it at your door. Stand still in alignment. When I say go, you will go, not to survive, but to steward what has arrived. Starting now, things are rearranging. Watch the next calls, emails, approvals, and reconciliations. Watch refunds locate your account. Watch delays reverse without your pleading. Watch a yes replace a maybe. Watch a conversation you feared turn into favor you didn't schedule. That will not be coincidence, that will be covenant. Heaven's logistics are precise. I am coordinating time, hearts, and signatures. I am moving pieces you cannot see, so peace can become your proof. Your instruction remains. Don't move first. Let provision arrive. Then obey the step I highlight. So I decree over you, peace in your home, Peace at your door, peace on your pillow, peace in your pulse. I decree clarity in your decisions, no fog, no frenzy, no false urgency. I decree favor in conversations, supernatural recall of your fruit, unexpected advocacy, kind eyes, and right words. I decree provision in motion, funds released, credits applied, opportunities aligned, and the exact channel prepared on schedule. I decree that your name is carried by my hand into rooms you do not campaign to enter. I break the voice of dread. I cancel the contract of hurry. I enthrone peace as your umpire. You will hear the whisper and know it is me. Say it with me now, out loud, like law. I will not move first. I will not quit in panic. My deposit is being released. My job is not my source. God is. The channel may change. The supply does not. It is written, I will lack no good thing. Now type it as a covenant. My deposit is being released. I will not quit in panic. God is my source. When you write it, you are planting it. Your future will harvest what your mouth and pen sow today. If this word steadied you, stay near it. Subscribe, follow, set alerts so alignment finds you before anxiety does. Don't drift back to fear-based thinking when the next wave knocks. Let truth meet you at the threshold and walk you through. This is spiritual care for your atmosphere, a steady cadence to keep your mouth and your pace in covenant. Now stand still and watch. Provision will meet you with precision. You will step when I say step into a door I already resourced. Don't move first, let supply arrive, then obey. Heaven doesn't fund anxiety, it funds obedience, and you're about to see why.